So here we have today's walk. This is the last section of London Loop I did, and now I'm going to carry on from Uxbridge down to Hayes and Harlington. It's worth just taking a moment to marvel at the splendour of Uxbridge Station. Look at this old cigarette machine in Uxbridge Station. Isn't it fantastic? Surreal. Oh, look. Players number 10 in there. 20p for a packet of Players number 10. I think that's what my dad used to smoke. Back out on the water. It gives you a sign it's raining. Tells you something. Back out on the London Loop. Carrying on from Uxbridge and carrying on down to Hayes and Harlington. I've got to put the camera away now, as you can see, with the rain on the lens there. It's just started raining. Not forecast, but I don't think it'll last long. So I finished a section of the London Loop at Uxbridge back in January. I think it was January the 22nd. And I've been pining to get back out here ever since. So today the route will take us back along the Grand Union Canal for a little bit, and then we'll go on to the River Colne, which I'm really looking forward to. And then, I'm not sure after that, I think we come back onto the Grand Union Canal, takes us down to Hayes and Harlington. So it should be a really lovely walk. Sun's come out, which is really lovely, but it is still pretty chilly actually. Last time I did a nice walk was, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I did it in my t-shirt pretty much, but I'm now back on with my puffy jacket and my scarf and my hat. A waterway here leading off the canal. I guess this is feeding into the Colne just there, which we'll be joining very shortly, I think. So I've actually printed out the Transport for London maps and directions. Obviously I'm doing it in the reverse direction. I've done it all the way from Enfield so far, going anti-clockwise, and so I shall carry on doing that. So this is, I have to read the directions in the opposite way, but I think, according to this map, we're going to be turning off the canal up here somewhere. Interesting looking Towpath pub, the General Elliot. Some tables here, right beside the canal. I'm sure the boaters of you out there will have stopped here for a pint on a summer's day, maybe. A boatyard over there on the other side of the canal. The Hillingdon Canal Club. And this has got to be one of the more densely populated stretches of the canal that I've seen around London anyway. Comparable to the area sort of around Hackney on the Lee navigation. Here's our little sign indicating that this is the point where we turn off the towpath and head towards the River Colne. We're going down this nice looking little lane here. Lovely little stream here, running alongside Culvert Way, and it's the direction in which we're walking. We're going to follow this till it joins the River Colne. Early sign of spring. I think, from my past mistakes, this is probably blackthorn, isn't it, rather than hawthorn. Today is the 17th of March, which I believe is St Patrick's Day, isn't it? The London Loop really is a proper edgeland trail. Look, now it's taking us through an industrial estate towards the pylons, and this is the route ahead. What I think is a heron down here. You'll see it any second. How wonderful so magical about the fringe of London. Call it edgelands if you will, but the area around London has a really kind of particular feel to it. I've talked about it a lot in the past. It's one of those things that you see those sort of remnants of the old countryside that was being swallowed up by the expansion of London, sort of like from the 1860s to like the 1920s, 1930s. And there's old topographical books that I so love. They're really documenting that period of change, partly lamenting the passing of the old countryside as it was gobbled up by the ever-expanding city, but also sort of celebrating the birth of these new suburbs and new developments. Because now, little lanes like the one I walked back down there, Culvert Lane, just appear sort of like quaint vestiges of the past, you know. So we have a very handy map carved into this big slab of wood, the Colne Valley Park. We are here. It's not very encouraging, the London Loop's pointing the other way, but I think that's because it's following the traditional direction. And we're going to go down here. I think all the way, and then we leave on the London Loop here. It's going to be delightful. And here we have the River Colne. So whereas the high street in Uxbridge was bustling and full, long queues and aggravation in Primark, people gorging themselves in McDonald's and Wetherspoons, and yet there's not a soul out here. It's quite a significantly sized river, isn't it, the River Colne? Running as it does along the western edge of London, marking its boundary with Buckinghamshire. It's flowing quite fast today. I realised the other day that a lot of my walks recently, or this year, have had a kind of watery or a riverine kind of theme to them. I don't know what's going on there. I just have the desire to be near water. Maybe, I am an Aquarius, if that means anything. Look at that glorious bit of scrubland there on the other side of the river and on the line of the pylons. You have to do some proper bushwhacking to walk through there. Some interesting looking old industrial units over there. Still a very productive part of the city over here. I have to say that sky behind me there is looking a bit ominous, makes my prediction of no more rain today look slightly optimistic, doesn't it? The romance of an abandoned bridge. Returned. Hopefully it won't last for too long though. I think this is the point where we cross over the bridge and into Buckinghamshire along this road here towards Ivor, towards Pinewood Studios, Star Wars, Tatooine and all that. Coal tax post here on the bridge over the River Colne. On the other side of the Colne now, making our way along this muddy path. It is still raining, so I'm going to have to get the camera away pretty quickly before it gets too wet. But I'm pretty sure it's going to clear up soon. So the London Loop appears to be taking me just off of the river path and through this field of sheep for some strange reason. I'm not entirely sure why. It's so glorious to be out here today. Last 2 weeks I haven't really been able to get out and do a proper walk. But today, this is just perfect for me. Because I haven't gone out of London, I'm just right on the edge of London. You get a bit of the industrial estates, the town centre at Uxbridge, the rivers, and now we have open fields and farmland with sheep. I'm not sure if it was a mistake to go into that field, it seemed fairly certain. Anyway, I've just had to clamber out over a fence to get back on this track here. Seemed to be no way out of that field. These things happen. Also, I did notice a massive group of ramblers going this way, and I thought, they look like an organised group. they would know the correct path. You can see now it's a very dark and ominous sky. I've got a funny feeling there's going to be more rain ahead. It's like evening. I think the rain's now turned into hail. So let's put the camera away and shoot this on my iPhone as I go down this little lane here. It's like midwinter. You can see like this, look, lumps of ice. So I've managed to achieve what I previously thought was impossible and get lost on the London Loop. London Loop is past this lake here by my thumb, and I'm actually here. I obviously haven't got massively lost, but it means that I will have to join it further down here. I have done it once before actually, where I missed out a section. Actually a bit longer than this. There you go. Really delightful fishing lake here, right beside the thunderous traffic of the M25. That's what we want to see. Nice clear blue skies. Wow, that hail was quite intense, wasn't it? It was bouncing off the road. I was thinking I was going to try and find a pub to take refuge in. Back on the River Colne. And the only thing I think I've missed out really is Little Britain Lake. Down here I'll pick up the slough arm of the Grand Union Canal, and that'll take me back onto the London Loop. I'm not entirely sure I should be walking through here, but que sera, sera. And on the other side of the path here are the fisheries. Even the rain won't keep the fishermen away. So this is what's at the end of that little lane. A locked gate, beware of guard dogs, something you never want to see. And I've got no idea, and it started hailing again. So I've got no idea actually how to get back onto the London Loop, apart from going all the way back on myself. Which I think I'm going to have to do. Oh well. So now I've turned, heading back in the direction I originally came from, back north, in hopes of finding a footpath that will take me across. And I think, let's not speak too soon, I think I might be in luck just up here, look. The old London Loop. So I hadn't gone that far off course. I've noticed a bit of vandalisation of the old London Loop signs. Clearly there's a bit of antipathy towards it around here. Anyway, back on track. That's a relief. I thought I was quite seriously off course for a while. And I get a view of the beautiful lake I thought I'd missed. Here's the Colne again. This lake's called Little Britain because it's in the shape of the British Isles. And here we have the London Loop sign pointing the way ahead. And as I refound the footpath, the hail stopped, although it is still raining, so I better get the camera dry. Isn't this a really lovely stretch of the canal? I'm going to follow this now, I think pretty much all the way into Hayes and Harlington. This is a really intriguing building beside the canal here. It's almost like something from Mad Max. Finally the sun and the sky clears up. Hopefully that's it now. This is an intriguing concrete structure just by the towpath here. Has all the hallmarks of a sort of Second World War defensive structure, some sort of pillbox, perhaps. And here, the canal, the slough arm of the Grand Union Canal, is carried over the waters of the River Colne. What a delightful moment. This reminds me of a walk I did a about 5 years ago at Easter, or maybe 6 years ago, and I walked along the canal from Ealing out to Hayes, and it was really really majestic. And actually it's quite quiet along there, you know, you don't get that many people. And being along here now, sort of similar time of year, you get the bird song along the towpath, and you get that sense that spring is coming and you're on the edge of London. It's really lovely. I'll put a link to that walk down below. And now we'll be back onto the main branch of the Grand Union Canal, as we were at the very beginning of the walk back in Uxbridge. And this will take us down, I think, as far as West Drayton. Just had a fascinating conversation with a fellow back there who just stopped to tell me how the canal along here used to be like the centre of like the heroin trade. That all these loads of the boats along here were used for stashing drugs, also in the undergrowth along the towpath, and also under the water. Fascinating, isn't it? His parting words were that he tells people like me wandering along here, he said, because like 30 years ago this place was like a war zone, he said. Very different now, of course. It's interesting when you have a conversation like that with someone, that it does raise the idea of the canal being that kind of place where people sort of ran away to, in a way, where things go on outside of the kind of movements of conventional society. He was saying that back 30, 40 years ago, the drug scene on the canal was run by sort of old hippies. And people sometimes tell me that if you're looking for bohemia in London now, you won't find it in Soho or in Hackney, Camden, Primrose Hill. You'll find it on the canals. But he said you never see a copper on the towpath, and it's very true. It does have that kind of that frontier feel to it that I suppose parts of London used to have. Just after I recorded a bit of commentary about the drugs along the towpath, I went under that bridge, and just there were three very pale, drawn, skinny-looking, junky-looking geezers there on the towpath. I wonder if my encounter with that fellow was linked to those three guys being on the towpath. Was it a kind of a warning? I don't think this is going to be a massive inconvenience for me, because I think I'm turning off just up here anyway. The Stockley Park, approaching the end of the walk. See, that's handy. The London Loop carries on down this road through the industrial estate. You see the sign there above the Portaloo, pointing the way down this quite aesthetically appealing industrial estate, relatively modern one. The brickmakers, pool and darts. I think this area was named for its brickfields, I believe. I think there must have been some relationship between that and the canal, that had been used to carry the bricks. The brickmakers appears to be a pub no more, sadly. It's a sad sight. Let's hope it can be rescued. Carrying on through this industrial estate here on the western edge of London, within the sort of orbit of Heathrow Airport. Well, what we have here looks to be the London office, or the UK office of Tesla, Elon Musk's car company, in a nondescript industrial park in West Drayton. Wow, even bigger industrial units. Clearly a lot going on over here. Apparently it's a real centre for technology, hence I guess the location of Tesla here. Well, the London Loop takes us off now into Stockley Park, a country park, and there's a golf course. Looking forward to this. I really feel like I'm being rewarded now with this lovely bit of sunshine at the end of the day. It's my reward for ploughing on through the rain and the hail. And the hail got quite big at one point back there. And getting lost and managing to find the path again. And then you get this at the end of the day. How glorious. Out here on the western fringe of London, on the London Loop. Always delivers. It's sad. I can't believe all these years I sort of maligned it and slightly sort of perhaps looked down my nose at it for not being psychogeographical. It really does open up all different aspects to London. So I think this park here is the old brick fields, now turned into a bit of municipal open space and a golf course. Quite an elaborate bridge carrying us over the road to the other side of Stockley Park. The London Loop sign pointing me in a slightly different direction than I would instinctively go. That way. I would go that way. But there you go. Can't argue with the signs. I mean, this is a curious route. And it does conflict with the map, with the Transport for London map, which takes you across Stockley Park Golf Club. But that sign back there definitely pointed in this direction, didn't it? Anyway, I can get back to where the map says to go. Just means I'm going in a big loop. And ironically, I'm going to head back down across the golf course all the way across and then back out. And then the last section is along the back along the canal into Hayes, which from previous experience is really lovely. Plane taken off from Heathrow there, rising into the sky. A load of people off on an adventure, hopefully. So on the other side of the golf course, we're just descending into this sort of techno park, technology industrial park. Sort of reminds me of an 80s vision of the future. This is Science Corner for some reason. I wonder if it's sort of pharmaceuticals. It's got a kind of fortress-like appearance about it, hasn't it? I've got a funny feeling it is just like a swimming pool, probably a municipal swimming pool. This is all very strange, isn't it? Very strange and uncanny. Looks like it could be used as the set for an episode of Black Mirror. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting this. It's a really uncanny thing to have at the end of the walk. I've still got to walk a short section on the canal and I've gone slightly off track again, but I'm glad I have done. This is bizarre. We've got Canon back there, Toshiba. The future is here, out on the western fringe. So this is where the London Loop crosses Fursdown Way, and we go down this little gravel path here in the last half an hour of daylight. And back to the Grand Union Canal for the final short section of the walk into Hayes. Old and new industry sitting side by side. You can see a small smattering of rain now breaking the surface of the canal, but nothing too much to bother me. Looks like an abandoned block of once luxury canal side apartments, doesn't it? Just gonna walk the last short section of towpath here into Hayes town centre. Thanks so much for coming on this walk with me today, back out on the London Loop. And wow, I mean, it's been a real eventful walk. What an amazing section of the London Loop. I look forward to doing more. And I look forward to seeing you lot on the next walk, wherever that may be, who knows.